You keep shrinking yourself to fit a life that was never built for who you actually are. Sign number 1, you get bored faster than everyone around you. Not lazy bored, dangerous bored. The kind where your brain starts picking apart every system the moment you understand it, and you're already 3 steps ahead while everyone else is still on step 1. People call it a short attention span. It's not. It's a mind that outgrows rooms too fast, and nobody built a bigger room for you yet. Here's the part that should make you sit up.
Right now, out of every 100 people walking around with real untapped ability, only about 7 ever put it to use in a way that matches what they're actually capable of. Think about that like a football stadium. 70,000 seats, and only about 5,000 of those people are living anywhere close to their ceiling. The rest are sitting in seats that fit someone else's life, not their own. That's not a motivational stat somebody made up to sell you a course. That's just how most people spawn their one shot, stuck in a version of themselves that's 2 sizes too small.
Sign number 2, you give better advice than you take. Somebody comes to you wrecked over a decision and you see the answer in about 10 seconds. Clear, simple, obvious. But when it's your own life on the table, suddenly everything's complicated, everything's risky, everything needs more time. That gap between how clearly you see other people's lives and how foggy your own looks isn't confusion. It's proof you already have the clarity. You're just not letting yourself use it on yourself. Sign number 3, you feel guilty resting. Not tired guilty, actual guilty, like you're wasting something by sitting still. That feeling doesn't come from nowhere. People who are actually capped out at their potential don't feel that itch. They rest, and it feels like rest. When your body won't let you enjoy stillness, it's because some part of you knows there's more available, and you're not touching it yet. Sign number 4, you've solved a version of this exact problem before, just in a different area of your life. Maybe you turned a broken friendship around. Maybe you fixed a mess at a job nobody else could untangle. Maybe you taught yourself something from scratch that most people pay someone else to handle. The skill is already proven. You just haven't pointed it at the thing you actually care about yet. That's not lack of ability. That's misdirected ability. And misdirected is fixable. Sign number 5. Criticism from certain people barely touches you, but comments from people who barely know you can wreck your whole week. That's backwards if you think about it, and it's actually a clue. It means some quiet part of you already suspects you're capable of more, and any random voice that questions it hits a nerve you're trying to protect. People who genuinely believe they're at their max don't flinch like that. There's nothing left to protect. Sign number 6, you notice inefficiency everywhere, and it drives you a little crazy. A slow process at work, a clunky system, a conversation that could have been handled in half the time. Most people just live inside broken systems without noticing they're broken. You notice, and it bothers you because your brain is already running a better version in the background. That's not being difficult. That's a mind built for improving things, sitting in an environment that doesn't ask you to improve anything. Sign number 7, and this one stings a little. You've gotten good at making yourself smaller in rooms, softening your opinions, downplaying wins, laughing off compliments before they land. That's not humility. That's a survival habit. Somewhere along the way, you learned that being fully yourself made someone uncomfortable, so you trimmed the edges. But every time you shrink on purpose, you're proving the size was always there. You don't shrink something that was never big to begin with. Sign number 8. You binge learn about things you'll probably never get paid for. Random deep dives into subjects with zero practical use, just because your brain wanted to understand them. That's not procrastination dressed up as curiosity. That's a hunger for mastery that hasn't found its main lane yet, so it's out there practicing on side streets. People without that hunger don't spend their Tuesday night learning how something works just because it's interesting. You do, and that says more about your ceiling than any resume ever could. Sign number 9. You replay old decisions and can immediately see the better move, but at the time you talked yourself out of it. That's not hindsight being smarter than you. That's the smarter version of you getting overruled by fear in real time. The insight was there the whole time, sitting right next to the doubt, and the doubt just talked louder that day. The good news is, insight doesn't disappear.
It's still in there, waiting for you to trust it before the moment, instead of after.
Sign number 10, and this is the one people miss the most. You feel most alive in brief flashes. A conversation that went somewhere real, a project where time disappeared, a moment where you helped someone and it actually mattered. Then you go back to a life that doesn't ask that much of you, and something in your chest goes quiet again. Those flashes aren't random. They're previews. Your life is showing you, in short bursts, exactly what it looks like when you're operating at full size, and then closing the curtain because the rest of your schedule wasn't built to hold that version of you yet.
Now, here's the thing nobody tells you about all 10 of these signs. They're not separate quirks. They're one thing wearing 10 different outfits. Every single one of them is your capability leaking out around the edges of a life that's too tight for it. The boredom, the guilt when resting, the sting from strangers' opinions, the late-night deep dives, all of it is the same pressure, just showing up in different rooms of your life. It's like water finding cracks in a wall. It's not random where it shows up. It shows up wherever there's the least resistance, because it's looking for a way out.
Most people read a list like this and think the fix is some big, dramatic reinvention. Quit the job, move cities, become a different person overnight. That's not usually how it actually works for people who turn this around. It's smaller than that, and honestly less exciting sounding, but it's the real mechanism. It's picking one sign, just one, and giving it slightly more room than you gave it yesterday. If you're the person who solves other people's problems in 10 seconds, start using that same speed on your own life, even in some small, low-stakes decision this week. If you're the one who shrinks in rooms.
Pick one room this month where you don't. Not a whole personality overhaul, just one room. The reason this matters is that capability doesn't grow the way people assume. People think you build it like a muscle, slow and steady over years. Some of it works that way, sure, but most of what's sitting inside you right now isn't undeveloped, it's undeployed. It's already built. It's just been sitting in storage because the life around it never asked for it. That's actually the good news buried in all this. You're not starting from zero. You're not behind. You're sitting on a stockpile that's been ready for a while.
And the only thing missing has been permission and a place to put it. And that permission thing, that's usually the real block, more than any actual lack of skill or timing or resources. Somewhere along the way, a lot of people get quietly trained to believe that wanting more than their current life offers is greedy or unrealistic or asking for trouble. So they trade the itch for comfort, and comfort feels safe right up until it starts feeling like a slow leak. You're not meant to spend years managing the gap between who you are and who your life lets you be.
That gap is supposed to close, not get managed. Think about how many people you already know personally who are clearly running on a fraction of what they've got. Not because they're not smart enough or hardworking enough, but because nothing in their day actually asked them to bring the rest of it. You've probably said it about someone else without even meaning it as a big statement. They could do so much more than this. People say that about others all the time without ever turning the sentence back around on themselves, but it applies both directions. If you can see it clearly in somebody else's life, there's a real chance it's just as true in yours, and you're simply too close to see it the same way. None of these 10 signs are flaws. They were never flaws. They're your actual size, showing through a life that got measured too small a long time ago. And the whole time you thought you were the problem, you were actually just the proof. If this hit home and you want to keep videos like this coming, you can buy me a coffee through the link in the description. It genuinely helps keep this channel going.